Alright, hello everybody, I am Peter96er, aka the coach of your Maryland Mudkips, and I'm going to be going over the Mafia division of the PUDL. This is the Mafia division / experimental. By the point system, you could tell that a lot higher tiered Pokemon like Urshifu, Terapagos, Spectre are allowed in this tier. Even usually this is a low tier Terra League, but they did bump it up a point since they wanted to hire the actual power of the Pokemon. And I'll be going over the draft today. This will be my draft analysis. Quick thing before, you can see here that I actually got the first pick of the draft. So, very excited for that, and hop right into it. So, with the first pick of the draft, I had to get the DAWG. I had to get the DAWG. It's fast. It's strong with 120 attack. You pack on like a choice band or a life orb. This thing hits hard. It's bulky since it's a box legendary. Really surprised. I was fighting for this to get into the league because I knew this thing was broken. It can run a lot of different sets. It's a lot of utility, close combat, body press because of Dauntless Shield, and with Iron Defense, this thing could just win a game off the bat. Unlike with my other team, it's not as creative of an idea, but it's still a pretty cool team, which I think has some pretty cool synergy, especially with the next pick of the draft, which with the second round, I picked espathra. The GOAT is back on the squad. Season 1 of the Showdown League, of the main, the regular league, espathra was on my team. It got MVP. This thing has been such a problem for other teams to deal with, and now that I have paired it with Zamazenta, this thing is gonna go crazy. 101 special attack is not good. Let's be honest, bad bulk. But this thing gets carried by its ability, and it's this two moves in Calm Mind and Store Power. With one Calm Mind, really, this Pokemon, it does like 80% to most non-resist after just one Calm Mind and 2 speed boosts. And that's after one time. After the next speed boost, you're probably getting the kill. And, this thing doesn't look bulky, but kind of similar to Clefable, if you invest, max defense, espathra, it just lives any of Urshifu attacks, unless it's the dark one, the single strike, I think. It lives U-turn. This thing, in most cases, is going to be able to press Calm Mind once. And its ability slot, its moves, kind of, you pretty much know what it's going to do. It's going to have Calm Mind, Stored Power, then probably Protect or Roost. I don't really like Roost on espathra, though, because, I think while this thing is secretly bulky, with some okay bulk, Roost is not good enough. It's not good enough protection. You need those turns, so Protect is a lot better in my opinion. Yeah, espathra is just really good. I know how to use it, so I am familiar. Similar, and Zamazenta is really good synergy with espathra, because espathra gets shut down by steel types, not really dark types, but even then they are a problem, because Dazzling Gleam is not the best move. We'd much rather have like a Moonblast, but with Zamazenta, he could deal with the steel types, so even if you have an espathra answer, Zamazenta is in the back, he outspeeds you, he kills you. GG, get better next time. Now, steel types are still a big problem, and this is the 32nd pick of the draft. So with the 33rd pick of the draft, I got the fish. 3 straight monsters. I got 2 more of speedy ones. Now this is just straight power. 135 special attack is insane. Plus with Beads of Ruin, it's doing insane damage. It doesn't have a lot of sets it can run. It's really just gonna use like flamethrower, overheat, dark pulse, nasty plot, or one coverage move. It's pretty like, you know what this thing's gonna do, but does it matter? You're not gonna stop it, especially with these three. Steel types don't like coming. Most steel types are just gonna get abused, and I think I've built a really good core of these three being able to deal with steel types, any of the weaknesses that espathra has, while espathra is able to deal with the weaknesses that Chiyu has, and Chiyu is able to deal with the weaknesses that Zom has. So it's a really good trio, dark, psychic fighting. It's not like the best duo in the game. You know, you much rather have like fire, water, grass, or dragon, steel, fairy, but especially with this caliber of Pokemon, you really do like seeing that it's kind of a core, and it's an offensive core. With all of this offense, I decided that with the fourth pick of the draft, I wanted Hydrapple. He's a new Pokemon, and I was really excited. I saw that this guy, he's gonna have insane bulk, high defense, not only has high special defense, but even then he gets Regenerator. He gets Recover. He's gonna be able to heal. He's gonna be able to come in multiple times. He's gonna be able to, and also, I thought it would be really funny if I won a game off Fickle Beam. So, Fickle Beam is gonna get ran once this season if I don't drop Hydrapple, but I don't think I'm gonna. This thing can run a lot of sets. It has Assault Vest. It has leftovers. It has heavy duty boots. It has a lot of things going for it. It's gonna be a defensive pivot. It does surprisingly get Sucker Punch, so I'm excited to use that because ghost types were looking like a problem, and I just wanted a dragon type to help me deal with them. Not really a lot to say about this. Of course, Draco Meteor Plus, when you're already trying to switch with the Regenerator, is a good duo with Hydrapple. And then with on the back-to-back pick, because I have the first pick of the draft, and it's a snake format, I decided to draft Jolteon. Thankfully, since the Terra limit got bumped up to 10 points, Jolteon is able to be one of my 3 Terra captains. Yeah, it's gonna be able to go electric, it's gonna be able to go ice, and it's gonna be able to go fairy. So I have that amazing Bolt Beam combo. So I'm gonna be able to press Thunderbolt plus Terra Blast Ice with Substitute plus Calm Mind, because 110 special attack off of 1 Calm Mind is pretty good. It's just gonna be able to clean up games with its speed, and if anything, just clean up. If anything, it's gonna be able to provide some chip for any of these monsters to sweep, or even Hydrapple to sweep, depending on the game. I've seen what's the other one? Not Hydrapple. It's the big one. It's the other evolution of Applin. I forgot. Okay. But yeah, Jolteon, a lot of good things to say about it. It did get Alluring Voice in the DLC, so I am gonna be able to run Terra Fairy Alluring Voice instead of Terra Blast, which is a lot better. Trailblaze, I don't think I'm gonna need Trailblaze even once, but it does get Wish, so I do actually have a Wish Passer, which I did not have in the Season 1 team for Showdown. Alright, then, since I was kind of running low on points, I did decide to pick up Gligar. It's really just one of my hazard setters. If I want him to be, he's gonna be able to tank a hit. It's not gonna be able to do a lot of damage, because this is a pre-evolution 75 attack, but it's gonna be able to come in on most physical attacks that are not ice or water, and set up T-Spike, set up Spike, set up Stealth Rock, do a lot. Yeah. It's gonna be able to taunt. It's gonna be able to toxic. It's gonna be able to U-turn, keep momentum. And I don't think this is, I needed some budget because my team was kind of running low on points. So, Gligar is the perfect thing. Also, it is the pre-evolution of my other Season 1 GOAT, being Gliscor. Love Gliscor. That's my glorious king right there. He ran the league in assists last year, being a defensive menace. And just, I'm excited to see what Gligar could do for me. So, on the back-to-back, this one I was really excited to get. Drifloon. Unburden, of course, it gets DAWG. One of the few Pokemon get DAWG, and I do like DAWG more than Rapid Spin, because it's gonna be able to do two things, which is get rid of screens while also getting rid of Stealth Rock, Spikes, anything on my opponent's field. And DAWG does have the downside of getting rid of any spikes or hazards that I set up on their side. But realistically, I'm not a player that really relies on hazards. I more like to just chip. I'd rather have 6 Pokemon than 5 and plus hazards. So I think having DAWG is good because I do, you don't want hazards on your side, but I'm fine with having no. I'd rather have no hazards than hazards on both sides, and I think that this Drifloon pick, he's gonna be able to do that. Insanely bulky because of that 150 HP. Of course, you would rather be that focused in defense or special defense. Not the best typing, but it's a low tier pick that gets DAWG, and I think he's gonna put in a lot of work. He's gonna be brought to a lot of games, unlike Gligar. I think he's gonna be able to do a lot of things. Now, with the next pick of the draft, I did decide to bolster my defense with Qwilfish. He gets Intimidate. He's gonna be able to. My team is really physically defensive, like with Hydrapple. But Qwilfish, I think I needed a bulky water, and he is one of the better bulky waters. Since he has such high defense and Intimidate. So yeah, I think Qwilfish, he's gonna be a good addition to the team. He helps deal with the fairy types that I'm gonna have trouble with Zamazenta and Chi-Yu. And I think he's gonna be a good addition to the team. It gives me another physical attacker because I did need one. And to go into the next pick of the draft, I did decide to get Porygon 2. Analytic on a slow Pokemon is good with a 105 special attack, but mainly, he is just probably the most defensive Pokemon in the game on both sides. He has 90 defense, 95 special defense, and 85 HP. If I need him to focus on one side of defense or like special defense, I'm gonna be able to do that. And this guy, he's the coverage. His coverage. He has Recover, Shadow Ball, Dry Tech for some potential RNG, and Thunder Wave, substitute Sleep Talk. It's gonna easy. Trick Room potentially, Foul Play, Facade, Double Edge, Discharge, Agility if I need him to clean up a game, and if I decide to go Download instead of Analytic because I want the extra boost in power. And this guy, he's going to be able to sponge hits and deal back. Now, on the back-to-back, I was saving up a lot of points. A lot of points. So, I was ecstatic when I saw this guy sitting there in the draft. Now, yes, this was my 10th pick of the draft. It's Roaring Moon, 18 points. No one wanted him. He's been getting a lot of mid allegations. And I understand why. It's because in draft, like the past season, the person who added him, I think brought him to like 3 games, and he got like 2 kills, maybe max. But why? 140 attack, 120 speed, booster energy is going to be able to make that attack even higher. And then with Dragon Dance, you outspeed everything, and then you just sweep. You aggro, you earth, you knock. There, dead. You beat most teams now. There's not a lot to say. Like, you don't even need to go max speed since his speed tier is pretty good at 119. So on most teams, like especially my week 1 opponent, who doesn't have as much speed, this guy's gonna be able to speed creep a lot of people, allowing him to focus on his bulk, and I'm gonna be able to maybe run max attack against certain teams, depending, because I do like you do want to make sure that you outspeed people without +1 and with +1, and this guy's gonna be able to do that. It's gonna be able to outspeed everything without +1 and outspeed everything plus a bit extra with +1. So Roaring Moon, he gets a lot of moves. It's just sad that he can't really use like his dragon type stab, because no dragon, because Dragon Claw is weak, and you'd much rather just go Earthquake Acrobatics. You're gonna hit harder than Dragon Claw probably, and Dragon isn't as good offensively as Earthquake and Acro, and Knockoff, incredible stat. So with the 11th pick, I did decide to go Sliggoo Hisui. I didn't notice this when I was first drafting, but I drafted like most of my team was from like Gen 8 or 9. There was very few Gen like 7 through 1. And I mean, another Eviolite Pokemon, this is my 3rd one, which does make me look like a target to strong dark types because of knockoff. But Sliggoo without Eviolite is bulky as he's still bulky. Like 113 special defense, that's insane. So and then this is my 2nd Terra Captain, so his Terra types are flying and water. Don't really remember why. I know why I picked flying, but I probably could have done a better Terra type, but I don't want to change it because I think flying is going to be good enough. So he's going to be able to have extra coverage. There's, of course, one of the downsides to Sliggoo is that it doesn't have recovery, but I don't think I'm going to need recovery with this Pokemon just because of how bulky it is, especially with Eviolite. It's going to be similar to Porygon 2. It's going to be taking up hits, and it's going to be allowing my sort of core of Zamazenta, Espathra, Triyu, and Roaring Moon to just finish any game that I need them to. So with the last pick of the draft, I decided that if needed, I do want some more hazard support, so I picked Golem. Gonna be able to start a game sturdy, Custab, and then just Explosion. Then with Stealth Rock, this is really the one set that I just wanted to run, if need be. But you know, Earthquake, it has good attack in 120, bad speed, but good defense in HP. So the only thing that the reason why Golem is bad is because it doesn't have reliable recovery, and because the many weaknesses of Rock Ground. You don't want that on a defensive Pokemon. So this is one of my Terra Captains, actually, where I made him Terra Dragon. And Terra Dragon and Grass. I think Dragon is definitely the more useful of the two, because I'm going to be able to resist Grass and Water, which I am going to be able to do with Grass. But I feel like Dragon is just a better defensive type overall than Grass. But I feel like Grass is an underrated Terra type, because it lets you resist Ground and is good on Fire types. So I think Grass, I wanted at least one Terra Grass. It allows me to not get put to sleep if someone has Spore, and overall, I think it's a good team. So to do a full team review, this is the full team. Zamazenta, Espathra, Chi-Yu, Hydrapple, Jolteon, Gligar, Drifblim, Quillfish, Porygon 2, Roaring Moon, Sliggoo, H, and then Golem. that is my draft analysis. It has concluded, but I do want to just go over my first matchup a bit and to just show you what's gonna come soon, and that is my week 1 opponent, who is Killzone. Right there. He has Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Enamorous Incarnate, Skeleturge, Amoonguss, Regieleki, Glacier, Archaliodon, Phalanx, Ariados, Vigoroth. It's a scary team, but I'm excited to face it, and I'll see you guys